The entire country can be taken out in one night, and that night might be tomorrow night.
Tonight on Cronkite News, President Donald Trump threatens Iran a new deadline to reopen the Strait of Hormuz.
Plus, with Arizona elections just around the corner, one group is working to strengthen the Latino vote.
And UCLA triumphs in their first NCAA championship right here in Phoenix. We'll give you a look at what the energy was like here in the Valley. Good evening and welcome to Cronkite News. I'm Serenity Reynolds.
And I'm Andrew Neeram. Thank you for joining us. Could an early end to winter in the Valley send some seasonal visitors packing sooner than expected?
With temperatures hitting record highs in March, Cronkite News reporter Bentley Yank shows us how local businesses are feeling the impact.
I was able to talk with some travelers in the Mesa area about how they are changing plans due to the heat.
Green grass, sunny skies keep families coming back year after year.
We get the best of both worlds.
Bob and Chris Stuckel are from Chicago and spend the winter in Arizona, but leave before the summer is in full swing.
There you have 3 months of bad weather, snow and cold. Here you have 3 months of very hot weather.
But when the summer temps come in March...
We did recently have family come in for their spring break and had to tell them it's going to be over 100 every day that you're here.
The so-called snowbirds might fly away early.
With the first time the temperatures got over 100 degrees, they started talking about leaving as soon as possible.
Dave Pope owns Pizza Cotta in Mesa.
The Monday after kind of the first days over 100 was like a summer day here. Very slow, very thought-provoking.
While many seasonal visitors say they'll be back again, the early summer heat is just a reminder of how the Valley's changing weather can have an impact on tourism.
Some people call them snowbirds. Winter visitors are an important segment of Arizona's tourism economy.
The Arizona Office of Tourism tracks estimated sales taxes. They said this year, tourism is still thriving.
These tourism sales taxes for sectors like hotels or restaurants are actually showing an increase year over year from last year at this time to this year.
Despite the heat, Pizza Cotta still has diners coming in, and families may change their plans.
We could come out earlier, maybe in October.
But still plan on coming back.
But I do think we would try to avoid the high heat.
The Arizona Office of Tourism did say that a lot of events were changing times, keeping people outdoors earlier or later than usual. In Phoenix, Bentley Yank, Cronkite News.
A change could soon be coming to one of Arizona's energy utilities.
Salt River Project is holding elections tomorrow that might have a higher turnout than usual. Voters will be choosing between these candidates who will decide Arizona's energy future. Eligible landowners can vote by mail or in person, with ballots due by 7 p.m. The election uses a unique system. Voters get one vote for every acre of land they own. Turnout is historically low, but this year, the conservative group Turning Point USA is backing candidates, drawing political attention to the race and potentially changing the election dynamics. Well, Arizona's general election is right around the corner, and some groups are launching campaigns to boost voter turnout.
Cronkite News reporter Ron Cunningham reports on a nonpartisan campaign focused on the Latino vote in the midterms.
This first-time voter believes that the Latino community has the power to make a change.
If we don't vote, if we don't use our voices, then nothing's really going to get done.
Barrera attended the launch of the nonpartisan Si Se Vota campaign that kicked off today in Phoenix in a local restaurant.
I wanted to step out of my own comfort zone to encourage others to hopefully also take their foot out the door and okay, I don't like how this is going, let's change that,
According to the Pew Research Center, Arizona has the 4th largest Latino eligible voter population, which is around 1.3 million. Mary Rose Wilcox believes there's a gap in voter turnout by the Hispanic community.
And we need to say that that's wrong because we have just as much voice. As an elected official for many years, I know how important it is to have people at the table, and you can't get them to the table unless you vote for them.
Since 2000, the Latino eligible voter population has doubled, which makes up 25% of Arizona state's voters, according to the UCLA's Latino Policy and Politics Institute. Barrera believes attending these events with people that are alike can better the chances to get people in her community out to vote.
Who are like you, who are like your father, who are like your mother, who are like your sister, and who care about the same things as you. I do think that it definitely does encourage quite a few more people.
CSAVOTA.org helps voters navigate ways to vote. Given that each state's guideline and dates are different, voters can find digital media, mailers, and events at csavota.org website.
The next primary election is July 21st, and the general election day will be on November 3rd.
Arizona is one of the 23 states suing the Trump administration over last week's executive order on mail-in voting.
That announcement coming from Attorney General Chris Mays and Secretary of State Adrian Fontes.
The Trump administration says the order is necessary to enforce states' maintenance of voter lists, but critics, including Secretary Fontes, don't agree.
Let's face it, the executive order is unconstitutional. States do the time, place, and manner, and Congress has a role, but not the president. We need to follow the law if we're going to follow the law, and that's why I'm fighting for you.
Despite his critics, President Trump has called his executive order legally foolproof.
Earlier today, President Trump said the entire country of Iran could be gone by tomorrow.
During his remarks, he threatened Iran, giving them until tomorrow night to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. Take a listen.
They have till tomorrow. Now we'll see what happens. I can tell you they're negotiating, we think, in good faith. We're going to find out. We're giving them till tomorrow, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. And after that, they're going to have no bridges. They're going to have no power plants. Stone Ages, yeah.
Earlier, Trump also rejected a 45-day ceasefire proposal, calling it a step in the right direction, but, quote, not good enough. He also claimed the Iranian people would be, quote, willing to suffer if it meant their freedom.
Meanwhile, J.P. Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon is warning investors about the war's impact on the economy. In his annual letter to shareholders, he explains the economy started out steady this year due to President Trump's tax cuts. However, he added that consistent oil price jumps may trigger inflation, causing interest rate hikes and stocks to fall. The ripple effect through the stock market is similar to what happened during COVID. Coming up next, we'll take a look at a popular sport
and what you may not know about its Arizona history.
Instead of them being bitter about that incarceration situation, they embraced baseball. That was their savior.
How baseball gave one group hope after their lives were changed forever. Coming up on Cronkite News.
Plus, the Valley's still holding those triple-digit temperatures at bay for now, after we saw record-breaking heat last month. How long can we expect these 80 to 90-degree days to last? Well, we got your full forecast coming up.
Tonight on Cronkite News, the U.S. and Iran reach a ceasefire, sending the price of oil plummeting. Find out when we can expect gas prices to drop here in the Valley.
Plus, we'll hear from one Valley firefighter who is looking to make a difference within his community.
And how one ASU golf player is teeing up to play in the game's biggest tournament. Coming up on Cronkite News.
That type of threat is what brought them to the place where they effectively say, hey, okay, we want to cut this deal.
Secretary of War Pete Hegseth talking today about a ceasefire between the U.S. and Iran. Good evening and welcome to Cronkite News. I'm Eric Matsumoto.
And I'm Reina Majalay. Thank you for joining us. The temporary 2-week ceasefire comes after Iran agreed to reopen the Strait of Hormuz, effective immediately.
After President Trump threatened to take out Iran's power plants and infrastructure, Iran proposed its government immediately create a passage to the strait. Shortly after Trump agreed to the deal, Israel launched missile attacks in Iran. Israel says they are not part of the deal. At the briefing, Secretary Pete Hegseth said the U.S. will, quote, hang around after the ceasefire in order to ensure Iran never possesses a nuclear weapon again.
But not everyone agrees with the war, including Arizona Representative Yasemin Ansari, who says she plans to bring articles of impeachment against Secretary Hegseth over his handling of the U.S. war with Iran. Representative Ansari spoke about her plans on MS Now.
I'm introducing these articles of impeachment because I think that is what is warranted and what is even comes close to being responsive to how horrific current events are right now.
Secretary Hegseth has not responded to Representative Ansari's proposal, but an impeachment is unlikely because Republicans control both the House and the Senate.
The ceasefire came as a relief to many around the world, especially to the price of oil, which immediately plunged following the announcement. Though prices are still higher than they were prior to the start of the war, the cost per barrel fell around 15% overnight, averaging roughly $91 a barrel. Since the start of the war, prices peaked around $116 per barrel. But just because oil costs decrease overnight doesn't mean gas will fall as quickly. Experts say it may take time for consumers to see the price at the pump decrease.
But how much time? Our Farah Bajalid is out in Phoenix right now with the latest on gas prices in the valley.
Gas prices in Arizona are continuing to climb and are above the national average. We used an app called Gas Buddy to figure out where the most expensive prices are here in Phoenix and why the gas price is staying so high.
Drivers at the Shell station on East Buckeye Road saw prices as high as $6.49 on Wednesday morning, among the most expensive in the area.
That's why I didn't end up filling gas here once I saw the prices.
Local resident Mahin Hari decided to keep driving, but doesn't think prices will come down very much.
I expect them to stay about the same for a little bit. I don't think it's going to fall anytime soon.
The ceasefire that's happened is very good news, but it's still too early to say that gas prices are going to be coming down.
Julian Paredes with AAA said the high prices might stick around.
There's still a lot of changes, still a lot of fluidity with the situation. And really the thing that's really going to drive gas prices down to normal levels is long-term stability.
Arizona mostly gets all of its gas from two pipelines to Texas and California. That's why when there's any type of disruption, it can take a lot longer for us to see prices come down here in the valley. Farah Bajalid, Cronkite News.
Thank you, Farah. Arizona's gas prices aren't the only thing sitting higher than the national average. The wildfire forecast was just released for the summer, and we're expected to face above-average fire danger through June. These predictions coming from the National Interagency Fire Center. That heightened fire danger is set to start in southeastern Arizona this month. Then in May and June, that above-average fire danger spreads to cover nearly the entire state. But possible monsoon storms in July could put a dent in that hot and dry weather and put the state back in regular levels of wildfire risk. A wellness center with specific clients in mind, as first responders are more likely to experience mental health problems than the general public.
Cronkite News reporter Serenity Reynolds spoke with a firefighter who works to make a change.
Putting their own lives on the line 72 hours a week.
I thought the fire department was going to be, not as stressful as it was, but, now that I'm in it, I'm living it.
And the stress is real. Around 33% of first responders in the country will experience PTSD, while only 20% of the general population will.
Me being firsthand in the first responder community, I see that mental health is big, health and wellness is big. So why not start something I'm really passionate about?
Darius Roberson, a Phoenix firefighter who wanted to make a change, opened the Vital Lounge this spring.
A lot of the vendors that we have coming in-house to work with us are first responders as well. Like one of our nurse practitioners, he's a firefighter. So it's kind of like catered towards that first responder community.
The space will be open to all, bringing in more local businesses too.
I was 15, and in 2024 I started roasting coffee, and I started Bloom Coffees.
He was happy when Darius reached out.
And the mission was very aligned, to bring the community together in one place to do something really good.
Vital Lounge's director of operations comes from a family of first responders.
And not only does it take a toll on themselves physically, but it takes a toll on their family.
And hopes that a new space like this will help them when they return to the station.
Especially as first responders, you put yourself in a position where you're constantly asking your body to perform at its best, and you have to get back to it.
In Phoenix, Serenity Reynolds, Cronkite News.
The Vital Lounge will be open to the public on April 18th, ready to help those who help us.
Coming up next, in the middle of South Phoenix, a small garden is making a big impact.
But this didn't come without its challenges and a lot of work to make it grow.
It was really inspiring because I could see that they were feeding their families, but also teaching their children by showing them what they were doing.
How one community is growing fresh food and hope in a place that needs it most. Coming up on Cronkite News.
Plus, the valley is heating back up. Will we see more rain or back to triple-digit days? Stick around for your full forecast.